All right, what's good, guys? So as you can tell, I'm in a new apartment, so just ignore the bad background for just this video. So this video is an interview that I did with Jay Cactus, and I'm super hyped for you guys to see this today. So the whole interview is about 35 minutes long. It definitely is on the shorter side of all the interviews we have done, but it's once again just jam-packed with those gems. So in the interview, we talked about Jay's background and how he got started on YouTube, how he started off focusing on type beats and then completely changed his content strategy and started actually getting views and gaining subscribers. We also talk about how he's been leveraging his social media following with over 100,000 on YouTube and how that's landed him new opportunities with brand placements, and just overall having that clout online and what it can do for you. And we even discuss the topic about buying views and how it could really affect your YouTube channel and if you should or shouldn't do it. I mean, Jay has over 100,000 on YouTube, so he definitely knows a lot about YouTube, and his insight is super good to have on that topic. So if you guys want to see the full interview that is in our course, you can watch the free masterclass, and then at the end you will have the option to join our course if you want. And by joining, you will get access to all the previous full interviews and all the future interviews I plan to do. So as of now, that's the Luke for Prez full interview about Google Ads for selling beats online, and the Matthew May interview about uploading free for profit beats on YouTube and gaining over $150,000 in just under, I think, 2 years is what he did. So there you guys go. Hope you enjoy the full interview. Peace out.
I want to know, like, how do you, at the end of the day, right, you're just making a beat and that's your content. How do you keep that refreshing to yourself? I know you did the Cactus Cook-Ups, you know, you've been doing a lot more collabs recently. Kind of how have you been keeping that fresh and not getting tired of doing all that?
I mean, sometimes it is tough to think of new ideas. I mean, there's only so many drill beats you can make. I think in the start, I was like playing around with different things. I think my first ever tutorial was a Lil Nas X tutorial, which has like nothing to do with what I'm doing now. But it was just, you know, I was just experimenting. I was just trying different things until I found something that stuck. And it was around about the time when obviously drill was popping in the UK. Everyone was asking for drill beats. I feel like Pop Smoke around about that time was when I'm trying to think now when it was, but there was a period of time when like Pop Smoke kind of took drill worldwide, if you know what I mean. Like, it was big in some countries, but then when he was blowing up, like loads of other countries started paying attention too. So as I was messing around with drill beats, and I felt like I just had a natural act for it. I really liked producing them. It wasn't something that I'd like done before, but I was just naturally kind of drawn to those type of beats. And it was at a period of time when drill was popping, so I was like, okay, let me try a drill tutorial. I did one and it was getting like a bit of attention. I did a Pop Smoke tutorial as well. That one got tons of attention. So I was like, okay, maybe this can be my lane. Because at that point, there wasn't really anyone that was doing drill tutorials full time. Like, different people would like release tutorials, but it was like trap tutorials and then the odd drill one, but no one was really consistent with drill. So I was like, okay, that can be my pocket. I really like making these beats. You know, I can kind of fill this gap in the market. But yeah, in terms of like keeping content fresh, I think that the first thing that I was doing was just doing like keyword research and seeing what type of stuff people were actually searching for. Like, people were searching for how to make drill beats, how to make a Pop Smoke type beat. So in the beginning, I was kind of just zoning in on those keywords and focusing on that. And then to keep it fresh, I was doing things like, okay, how can I think of something like a bit unorthodox? What can I merge with drill? So I think one of my first videos to do quite well was making a Japanese inspired drill beat.
Oh
So I was like, let me just take stuff from like other cultures and then, you know, mix that with drill. And those ones started doing really well because people were searching for drill tutorials, and then they'd find something that isn't like, well, it's obviously drill, but it's not like your standard UK drill, right? So that's been like one key thing for me. Is like, you know, getting stuff from other cultures, maybe like studying their type of music, seeing what instruments they use, and just bringing something different to the table. So I've just been merging a lot of things with drill.
That's, I think that's like, I have so many questions about content. So that's interesting to hear. So I guess another thing, we'll kind of take a step back here. So I know the biggest issue that a lot of producers face is kind of getting themselves on camera, talking on camera.
Right.
I mean, me and you can say the same thing of like, for me, it's just reps. It's just like the gym. Like, you get stronger by just showing up and doing it. And so I think the hardest part is kind of same thing like the gym, is like going for the first time. So I guess, what advice would you give to somebody who's kind of on the edge of like making content and they're worried about maybe getting made fun of by friends, or like, oh, it's never gonna work, this is stupid? What advice would you give to somebody to like really lock in and start making content?
I mean, I'd say me personally, I'm not a natural person on camera. Like if you go back to my early videos, I look a bit more awkward. The first time I pulled out a camera, I hated it. I was like stopping it every 2 minutes. I didn't really know what to say. And it was tough, man. But I kind of just knew that this is how you got to run a business these days. You have to put out content. So it's not going to create itself. The only way to do it and get better is to just turn on the camera and just press record and just see. And it does get easier with time. Like even now when I'm recording, I still don't feel like crazy confident with it, but it does get easier and you start finding your natural flow. Your editing gets better. You start learning the shortcuts in the software that you're using. And it just becomes a bit more natural. And in terms of people worrying about what other people would think, this is something that I've struggled with like my whole life. Like, I get anxiety. I was always a bit shy as a kid. I was never like really like outspoken and everything. But then it kind of got in my head. I was like, you know what? These people that I'm worrying about, they're never going to be buying my beats or buying my sample packs or bringing me one step closer to my dreams. So am I really going to let someone that doesn't even bring value to my life like affect my whole life? You know what I mean?
Just hold you
So
back
like, I don't
from
need
reaching that goal.
Yeah, it's like when you actually deep it and you think about the people that you're trying to impress or you're worried about, they don't do anything for you. Even if it's your friends, if they're making fun of you for making content or doing whatever, then you need a new group of friends. You need to find people that are doing something similar. You need to get, even if it's just on like Discord chat rooms, or you just basically just need to find a community that embraces you and has like the same type of vision, because everyone else is really just going to hold you back.
Facts, man. Facts. So I think
it can get deep, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you kind of have to, because it's just a belief you have on yourself. I was there when I first started recording. It's just like, you're going to be so awkward. You're going to think about like, what if my mom sees this video? What if my friend sees this video? I know like YouTube was kind of a weird thing when I was in high school. It's like, you have a YouTube channel? Nowadays, I feel like it's like everybody I know has a TikTok.
Yeah,
and so
exactly that.
It feels a lot less weird nowadays, but I think too, a lot of producers are just kind of like shy, and I think too. So I guess talking about putting your face on there, I think, in my opinion, that's like the easiest, simplest, best way to brand yourself. Right. I mean, would you agree with that? That just getting your face out there is the most recognizable thing to just build your brand?
100%, man. I mean, I'm sick of seeing people with profile pictures that's just like nothing related to the brand at all. It's just some like random picture they've grabbed from somewhere. It doesn't tell me anything about you. Like even if someone messages me on like Instagram, for example, and I look on the profile and there's nothing about you as a person, I feel like you just being yourself, having your face out there, it helps the brand so much, instead of just, okay, I'm just talking to a logo. I don't know anything about this person. I don't know, like, it just gives you nothing to work with, right? So 100%, I think it's so important to have your face out there. I mean, I feel like people will fuck with you as a person more than you as a producer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely...
People buy from you as a person rather than just buying because you have this product.
Yeah, no, I think... No, you said that perfectly. Like, I guess, like, that's, like, the easiest way to sum it up. Like, people do fuck with you, not just, like, the hard beat. Like, I tell people all days, like, making hard beats nowadays isn't really a skill. Like, there's guys like you who literally teach people how to do this. It's kind of like, if you're making bad beats, it's like, how? Like, do you not know about Splice and these drum kits that you guys have? Like,
of course. I mean, you can get good at making beats in no time. Yeah. You can do a full course in like 10 hours and be good at making beats. You know what I mean? It can be pretty quick.
It's insane, man. It's crazy how it's moving. And also, so I guess moving forward to this, so you have a tight beat channel, and you also have a channel that's just, more so production, cook-up, tutorial focused. Is that like 100% something that you'd recommend every producer who wants to make into content to keep those two separate?
Yeah, 100%. So it was one thing I was thinking about before I started the second channel. And I think the person I asked BusyWorks Beats, because I randomly just slid into the DMs one day. And luckily he was there at the right time, because he was like, yeah, definitely keep them separate. And I was like, well, he knows his shit, he's got tons of subscribers, so I'll take his advice. But it makes sense, because if you think about it, if you're uploading beats, your target audience is rappers. If you're uploading tutorials, then your target audience is producers. So it doesn't really make sense to include those on the same channel. And plus it can kind of mess with the keywords, because if you know, for a portion of time, your keyword is just like type beat, like Drake type beat, like whatever type beat it might be. And then the next one is like how to make your kicks hit hard, or, you know, just anything that's like tutorial based. It just kind of messes with the algorithm. You're not really telling YouTube what your channel is focusing on. So I feel like for any channel, you need to kind of narrow it down and focus on a niche topic, whether it's a certain type of keyword, a certain type of beats, or a certain type of tutorials in a way, you know? So I'd say definitely, if you can, like, try and keep them separate. I know people that have still had success with doing everything, like DJ Pain 1, for example. He uploads type beats, tutorials, and everything. Yeah. But when I had him on my podcast, he said, you know, that's not the way to do it. If he could reverse time, he would have definitely changed it. So yeah, I think it makes sense to keep it separate.
That's the advice. So I guess we can talk more about YouTube. Honestly, I want to talk more. You're over 100,000 subscribers now, and so I think it'd be dumb if I didn't really talk about like one of that main thing. So I guess I haven't checked out a lot because I'm not a drill producer. I'll openly admit it. So exposing myself there. But as such a big creator like that, how have you been able to just network with other creators, or even just leverage that with brand sponsorships, or just monetizing your brand? Like, I know everyone thinks like, oh, YouTube AdSense is the way to go, but if I had to guess, it's probably not all that good for music producers. Am I right?
I'd say, I mean, I'm like, AdSense isn't amazing. I try to have the minimum amount of ads. I think I have like one skippable ad like halfway through a video. You can go all out with it and have like 10 ads on there and non-skippable ones and everything, but I feel like if people are watching ads every 2 minutes, they might get a bit fed up and just click off, right? So I try to make the content as clean as possible. So you probably can make a bit more money with ads, but I keep it pretty simple in that sense. But in terms of like leveraging the brand, I'd say, I mean, if you're for brand collaborations, I mean, once you get to I feel like once I got to about like even like 5K, I had like a few people reaching out. And definitely like the more views and subscribers that you get, you do just get brands like reaching out to you, because I feel like that kind of marketing is perfect for any company, right? So if you're a producer with a tutorial channel, you have like an audience that kind of trust you. You know, you've already got that niche audience right there. So for those guys to pay, if those guys wanted to pay like for Facebook ads, for example, and target that same kind of audience, it would cost them, I mean, I don't know how much it would cost them, but it would probably cost them a lot more than what it would cost to pay someone to promote a product in a video where they already have that audience there, you know? So
yeah, it's like hyper targeted.
Yeah, exactly that. So you do get brands reaching out to you, but you know, if you feel like you've got a fairly good audience and you're getting views, so there's no harm in you reaching out to companies as well. You can always go on the websites and find if they have like an artist relations team, a marketing team, something like that. You can reach out, introduce yourself on the channel, you know, make sure that it's a product that you actually would use yourself or you'd happily promote to your audience, because you don't want to bullshit people. And you can definitely start the relationship that way. I've done it a few times with products that I've used. I've really liked it, so I've reached out, and then, you know, we've worked something out from there.
Yeah, I think that even helps too, like having actual organic content. Be like, hey, I talk about your plugin. I use this thing like all the time. Do you want to do a brand sponsor deal? I think it's, like I said, it's a no-brainer with how influencer marketing. I think that's gonna be the next big thing for producers, is really like make your own brand, make your own audience, make your own community. And you know, I know 100%. not everybody can be Kyle Beats and have somebody develop their own plugin, but still, like, you can reach out to these companies who already have that and just promote it to the audience you built, and it can make you a damn good amount of money with you still doing music production at the end of the day.